How damage in Greenfield affects cars and people. Greenfield, hit by disaster. Life upended, cars wrecked. How will this tough community bounce back? We are in Greenfield, a town that was just devastated by unforeseen natural disasters. We'll look at how the destruction has impacted cars and the people who depend on them in this video. The town of Greenfield, which is renowned for its tranquil settings and close-knit community, has seen severe weather conditions, including tornadoes and heavy rainfall, to infrastructural challenges, which has seriously damaged both automobiles and property. Many locals are in a state of chaos as a result of this incident, having to deal with difficulties they never saw coming. Let's start by discussing the effect on vehicles. Everyday living requires the use of cars, trucks, and other forms of transportation, particularly in rural areas like Greenfield, where there are few public transportation choices. There has been significant damage to highways due to water and debris. Tires, suspensions, and undercarriages are suffering significant damage as a result of potholes turning into craters and previously smooth surfaces becoming uneven and rough. For a lot of people, this has meant unforeseen and frequently expensive repair bills. Certain vehicles have been rendered totally unusable in certain instances, leaving families stranded and unable to locate other forms of transportation. Furthermore, there have been incidents of cars being totally buried or carried away by floodwaters as a result of the extreme weather. This results in not just immediate loss, but also long-term problems like mold growth, electrical system failures, and water damage to interiors and motors. Insurance claims have risen significantly, but the reimbursement procedure can often be sluggish, depriving many of their major means of transportation for an extended amount of time. This might result in reduced income and increased financial burden for people who depend on their cars for employment. The flood of wrecked vehicles is overwhelming the local auto shops and mechanics. Longer wait times and greater expenses have resulted from shortages of parts and an increase in demand for repairs. The community is suffering since access to basic services like healthcare, groceries, and education depends on transportation. Let's now talk about the more intimate effects that this harm has on individuals. It's evident that the recent events have caused worry and anxiety. Numerous locals were forced to flee their houses, leaving behind sentimental belongings and facing the unknown as to whether or when they will be allowed to return. The psychological impact of losing a home or car is significant. For many, their cars serve as more than simply a mode of mobility. They are also an essential part of their livelihood and a symbol of independence. Natural disasters can have a particularly negative emotional impact on children. Their mental and emotional growth may be negatively impacted for some time by the interruption of their daily routines, the disappearance of familiar surroundings, and their dread of the unknown. Although there is a great sense of community in Greenfield, these difficulties testing even the strongest people. Although resources are limited, local shelters and relief organizations are making a lot of effort to help. The need is still very high, but volunteers are essential, and the outpouring of support from other towns and states has been touching. Access to healthcare has also been impacted. Getting to medical appointments has grown more challenging due to damaged roads and limited transportation options. This can be fatal for individuals who have ongoing medical issues or urgent needs. Furthermore, as people deal with the stress of the recent events, there is an increased demand for mental health treatments. There have also been interruptions in schools, with temporary closures and relocations brought on by damaged infrastructure. This has affected families' everyday routines as well as the children's schooling. One cannot ignore the financial impact on nearby companies either. Numerous small enterprises are encountering difficulties in recuperating from the physical impairment of their establishments and the decline in clientele. This is a serious setback for a town that depends mostly on local business. The community's distress has been made worse by the difficult decisions that business owners must make regarding layoffs and closures. In conclusion, the destruction in Greenfield, Iowa, serves as a sobering reminder of the interdependence of our infrastructure and way of life. Although they are only one component of the picture, cars and transportation have a significant impact on day-to-day living. There are significant knock-on impacts on healthcare, education, personal well-being, and the local economy. The people of Greenfield are going through a difficult moment, but there is some optimism because of their resiliency and the help from the neighboring communities. It's evident from our continued observation of the situation that recovery will be a protracted and challenging process, but with cooperation, the residents of Greenfield can rebuild and emerge stronger on the other side. I appreciate everyone who watched. For additional updates, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you stay safe, and I'll see you later.